Coming up on Look Today, well, Saratoga Plan, a nonprofit land trust, has a new director. I've got details. And we have more details on events happening in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. More on that coming up. And Mia Posto restaurant, Saratoga Springs, is demolished as a result of that fire. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program I sit down with Joanne Hume and she's a new executive director for Saratoga County EOC and she's here to talk about her new role and the organization's mission in our community. I also sit down with Laura Dorado and Mike Miller. Now they're the co-founders and co-chairs of the Purple Tie Affair in Saratoga and they're here to talk about the upcoming fundraising event at the National Museum of Dance happening on January 21st. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. Crazy weather. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, Saratoga Plan, a nonprofit land trust in Saratoga, has a new constituent engagement director. John Kettlewell will be overseeing the important task of community outreach for preserving natural open land in Saratoga County. Now, whether it's for agricultural or recreational purposes, Saratoga Plan, check this out, has helped preserve over 200 miles of scenic trails and over 4,000 acres of land. Wow. We spoke to John Kettlewell about his new position.
I've known about Saratoga Plan for a long time, but this is a brand new job for me. I used to work for the Adirondack Mountain Club in Lake George, New York, as the publications and marketing director there. And then after that, I was working with a digital marketing company here in Saratoga called Informs. And so I have a lot of background in both communications and outdoor recreation and environmental work.
Congratulations, John. In other news, as part of the Martin Luther King Jr. birthday celebration that's happening in Saratoga this weekend, students from the Waldorf School are making scarves to be donated to the Code Blue shelter in Saratoga Springs. Now, this is going to take place on Monday at the Saratoga Springs Library. Knitters of all ages are encouraged to attend. We spoke to Christina Konanek. She's the handwork teacher for Waldorf School of Saratoga.
This is a wonderful way that they can actually use the skills that they're learning in handwork. They love to make things, and then to share those beautiful things with other people is even nicer for them. It gives them a great sense of warmth and accomplishment and pride, so it's wonderful to share those gifts with others.
What a great idea. We also had the opportunity to speak to Matt Copens. He's a director of community outreach and development about what this means for the community.
You know, it was really significant when we were starting our forest kindergarten, one of our mentors came in and she would say, the children need to feel part of a community so that when they go out in the world, they don't ask, what can you give to me, but they ask, what can I give back? And we really take that to heart throughout our school. And so this is just one way we can start to build that sense of community with our students.
Totally agree. All right, switching from news to weather. How about this weather? Today's temperatures continue to stay in the high 40s. I heard 53 degrees. And when I walked outside today, it was just like spring, a rainy spring day. All right, let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, including a first look at the weekend, we're going to head to our Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm your First Look meteorologist, Brandon Boucher. And as we jump into our First Look Weather Center right now, still watching this frontal boundary pushing through as it does. We'll be dealing with a few more showers. Expect to see those getting rid of rather quickly tonight, however, but temperatures will also start to really fall back down over the next 24 hours. So as we take a look right now, still watching this frontal boundary pushing through, some very heavy rainfall off to the north. Could even see a passing heavier shower here or there as we push through the overnight hours, but do expect to see that moving out out rather early. By the midnight hour, we'll definitely be rain free as that front moves back out. We'll still keep some clouds around, and with that thicker cloud cover in place and a south breeze just hanging on by a hair, we'll see the low just about freezing at 34. So not that great conditions out there. We're going to see sunshine pushing in as we head through the daytime Friday, and the stiff northwesterly wind from 10, 15, 20 miles an hour pushes on in. That's actually going to allow temperatures to really tumble throughout the daytime. Expect to see temperatures perhaps well below freezing as early as about 2 to 3 in the afternoon. All the way down to 6 degrees. That'll be our morning low as we head into Saturday. Saturday's high 19. So it'll be a bit of a seesaw on temperatures over the next couple of days. Right back around freezing or above freezing Sunday and Monday, Tuesday. Could see some more wintry mix moving right back in. Well, that's it from the First Look Weather Center. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Brad. As you probably noticed, it's going to be like 19 degrees on Saturday, and then toward the end of next week, it bounces back up. It's really crazy weather. Hey, by the way, you probably have already spotted this, but the second weathercast inside the program each night also features a ski report on the 3 mountains right in our region, of which, of course, are West, Gore, and Whiteface. So you want to keep an eye on those reports, considering what kind of weather we're having. Back to the news. Well, the Mia Poster restaurant, which is on Carolina Putnam in Saratoga, has been demolished. After a serious fire started in the kitchen of the restaurant on Thanksgiving Day, the building, as well as surrounding ones, were heavily damaged. Now, we're going to have updates on this story when details on the restaurant's new location are announced, and also, by the way, when Hamlet and Ghost, which is opening up tonight again, thankfully, and Sperry's is back up and running. That was some devastating fire. All right, up next, I sit down with Joanne Hume. She's a new executive director for Saratoga County EOC, Economic Opportunity Council. She's here to talk about her new role, and the organization's mission in our community. Plus, I also sit down with Laura Dorado and Mike Miller. They're the co-chairs for the Purple Tie Affair, and they're here to talk about the upcoming fundraising event at the National Museum of Dance in Saratoga for the Leukemia Lymphoma Foundation. And that's happening on January 21st. And also at the end of tonight's program, I just got to tell you, stick around. Garland Nelson is going to take us out. You got to see this. He's going to sing. But first, if you've seen who's happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I'm going to be quick because we've got a treat for you tonight. Garland Nelson, as many of you know, is the lead singer for Soul Session. And man, can this guy sing. So at any rate, when Garland was in yesterday talking about Martin Luther King Jr. celebrations this weekend, I asked him, I said, hey, you got something you want to sing a cappella? Sure enough, he did. So that's it for us. Tonight on Look TV, it's sold. See you tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Here's Garland Nelson.
Come on up, I've got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. Come on up, I've got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. Come on up, I've got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. They said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove for the Underground Railroad. One night I dreamed I was in slavery, about 1850 was the time. Sorrow was the only sign, nothing around to ease my mind. Out of the night, appeared a lady, carry a distant pilgrim band. First mate, she cried and pointed her hand. Make room aboard for this young woman. She said, come on up, I've got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. Come on up, I've got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. Come on up. Ow! I said, come on up to this train of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman, and she drove for the